Hi. This is very random, and I haven't made a video on TikTok for a very long time. Actually, quite a few months. Hello. Quite a few months, you'll notice there's been no video. As I said, this body was guided to go within and be quiet and do a lot of inner work and just basically raise to another level. So it's been doing a lot of work. Hello, everybody. So here's one guidance. There's a lot going on the world right now. You'll see a lot of it is because we are not seeing the reflection. We are denying our shadow. And the more you deny it, the harder it will be shoved in your face for you to see. And the more you will suffer if you don't, see where it is, to clear it, to release it. So this was guided because I've been very active. Hi, I don't know who that is. I've been very active on, I'm not sure what that is about, on Facebook, and I've shared stuff that's come through. So just a few things. Secondly, what's going on quite now, there's been a lot of light. You'll see I posted on my TikTok page. The second wave of light came into the planet. In 2020, the first wave started, an intense wave of light came in. There was really like the Great Awakening begun on a big scale. And then it's gone in stages. Yes, when you can add to the conversation, okay, but not now. Unless you are on the spiritual path and whatever, you can put your questions just now. So, and understand this. So basically, the second wave of light came in, wow. And I'm sure you've all noticed, if you're on this path, wow, have you noticed it? You'll notice it in the physical body. It affects the physical body, your health, you'll be tired, all kinds of things, symptoms, as you know, if you want to say the ascension symptoms. So this has whacked the planet. And same thing, most of you that are on the path, if you know, the more you increase the light, the same, everything in the Maya, in the game, thank you, in the game, as you know how things work, right? So the more the light increases, everything's about balance in duality, in the dream of duality or the Maya. So the light is the same thing. The more the light is increasing, the more it will shove the shadow. This is what's so important. This is why I'm guided to cover this one. The more it's increasing the shadow, you see. And where you are not seeing it, it's just going to get aggravated because you do not understand and because you're not releasing it. So basically what the shadow is where you've misseen things. So where you are holding pain, trauma, darkness, any other stuff in the vessel and unaware of it. And you keep thinking, why me? I'm a victim. And life just, you have all these intentions and everything but you keep attracting the opposite. This is what's going on the planet now. So some people call it karma, but it's energy entanglement. Sometimes it's actually law of attraction and manifestation. So this is what's happening. So we're out there now, and we don't get involved. Those that know that there's only one player here. Depending on where you are, we understand there is one. There's source. Source is playing all on the field in the Maya. All. On the other side, everything is one. There is no separation. This is understood. So we don't get involved here. This is where the third dimension density caught people because of the density you were at. And the darkness, which is the density, you were not able to see your reflection and shadow. And this was a problem. So this is where the story comes from. History repeats itself. Is because literally it looked like this is what humanity just kept going around, as you say, war after war and problem after problem. It's because of the lower consciousness and because of the density and because not understanding I am source. Everything around, I am creating my reality. All around me is created. It's only a reflection of what is held within. This is where the saying comes, as within, so without. So, everything that you experience as a character in a body, in the Maya, is a reflection of your thoughts, beliefs, and energy held in the body. So even when you reach non-duality, you will see the body remains, whatever's not cleared from the body remains in the body. Its patterns, its habits, its trauma, its triggers are in the body. This is where so many are stuck and are in suffering, as you see now, and they repeat the cycle. And we do not take sides because all is the one. It's playing a role. Secondly, the third dimension is being cleared at the moment and is going to be released. And this is why there's a big pushback, if you want to say, because they're playing a role. It's only playing a role. You've got the light or the dark side, which is what you say, which is not in love and unity, and if you want to say all these things. It's playing its role. That's all it does. It's reflecting to you. That's what its job is, actually. People want to bite it, but all it's doing is showing you what you are holding within you. That's its job. So if you hold, I am not safe, everybody is out to get me, all these things, this is exactly what the world you will manifest, you will draw to you, to show you this is a belief and things I'm holding within me. If I feel no one loves me, I'm persecuted, I'm oppressed, this is what will be given to you to show you, oh hell, I'm the one who feels this. I believe this. This is my definition. This is what I am creating. This is a higher level of knowledge. When you understand this, you release yourself then. You start what they call the dark night of the soul, or shadow work, consciously. And you release it, and you release, and you release. It no longer has hold over you. You end your karma, if you want to say. All that you want to say, karma is energy entanglement. Most people are triggered, especially now if you are reacting to what's going on out there. If you are triggered, it means you have unhealed, or you have shadow you are not looking at. You are denying hurt, you are denying trauma, you are denying hate, anger, judgment, whatever it is. Whatever is there is within. So this is really what's happened on the planet. Is the planet, and you can see it reflected. You can see it reflected in society so clearly. If you look at the moment here we are, there's a great example. This is what humanity has done. Let's suppress it. Let's put it under the carpet. Where do you think the words see no, let's look, whatever it was, children should be seen and not heard? All these kind of sayings come from. And just, suck it up, bite the upper lip and put on a smile. You were always taught to suppress it. This is the worst thing ever, because all you've done is hung on to energy, which is now not flowing freely. So this is what you want to call karma, entanglement, whatever it is. This is what's coming back to you. So where you've reacted, and most people got angry. Oh, they're horrible. Why are they doing it to me? And I speak from experience here, because this character suffered immensely in this life and had a lot of trauma. But its intention and all it wanted was love and peace. So it did this and reacted, but its program, the subconscious belief or program, whether it's this life or whatever, another, this is what is actually manifesting. This is what you call law of attraction and manifesting. This is what comes to you. And then you're like, why do I always get picked on? Why do these people find me? All this? You wonder why you're a victim, and you can't understand why you keep attracting these terrible people or events to you. It's because it is within you. And now, for this one ran around for decades, couldn't understand why the hell it was attracting and getting itself into such dangerous or bad situations. It's because the same thing. Inside was trauma from whatever, and never mind lineage. It was going right back. So much was in here. And it was, so once you've been through experience to hang on to trauma, I don't feel safe. I feel threatened. You're having fear. You're having all of these. Now this is what you will get. Not, I want peace. I'm looking for Mr. Nice Guy. I'm happy. I'm love. Because that is not what the program is inside. That is not the energy is inside. That is not the belief that was inside this one. You are looking outside. This is a mistake. Outside of you. Everything is outside for the problem. The problem is within you. It was never outside. So this one was looking outside for someone to make me feel safe. I'll look for a big guy to protect me, or a gun to protect myself, or this is, you see, this is what's happening outside of you. Always. See, you were looking outside and not understanding how reality, or the Maya, or the matrix, or the illusion, or whatever you want to call it, this planet, how come Earth is so terrible, and life is terrible? This is why. So what we're seeing happening, playing out on the planet now is exactly this. You see? So when you've got one side saying, I feel threatened, everyone's out to kill me, to destroy me, to do this, to do that, there's a massive power of it, law of attraction and manifestation. And then you've got another one, I feel oppressed, I feel this and that, whatever. You are drawn. See, energy. Nothing can be in your experience unless you're a frequency matched to it. But where the problem is, you are unconsciously aware that you are attracting this. Because what you are doing actively and what you are wanting is the complete opposite. This is why, and of course I wouldn't do that. But you don't, so you don't understand how it comes to you. Why do they pick on me? Hi. I know it's been a long time. I just got guided because I've spoken about many things, but yeah. So there's a lot going on. We don't need to go into that. And this is where its problem is. We are going through the end of times. The end of the yoga, Kali Yoga, the end of times. It's ending, if you like it or not. The new earth is beginning because there's one in control here, one player, and that is Source, God, the God Source, which all are, everything. It's the only thing that actually exists is Source. So this is Source's dream, excuse me, hiccups, sorry. This is Source's dream, Maya, or game, right? So Source is playing this as a collective, which is all, have decided Source is moving up another level. So we're moving, as I say, to the golden age, to the new earth. This one is coming to an end. So all that is unresolved has to be sorted out. So it's why it's messy, all the karma, everything that you've denied, don't want to look at, shadows, darkness. This is why censorship has come up. Very, very interesting. And this is it, and people are not getting it, especially government either, because government's the same thing. Government, what's his name? WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks was playing a role, Julian Assange. Julian Assange played a role for humanity. That at a lower consciousness, you didn't want to see it, or you looked the other way. You didn't want to talk out. If you were anywhere affected by WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, you have some unresolved issue there, the subject. And going on, he reflected it to us big time, where we were denying, not wanting to see our shadow. And our government's the same thing, would do not want to look at, see, nobody wants to look at the faults. No, I didn't, I'm perfect. I did nothing wrong. Let's just put it under the carpet. This is always what it is. Hide it, suppress it, put it under the carpet. So this is the outside reflection being given to the public, to you, to all here, is to show you this is what you are doing. You are hiding your pain, you don't want to face your shit. You don't want to let go of your anger, your forgiveness, your hate, your blame, your whatever. You are suppressing it. You are denying it. You see? So this is what happened to Julian Assange. It was a mirror. What happened? Massive. Oh, we don't want to know. What happened to him is a classic example. That's how desperately humanity is trying to hide its own darkness. Its dirt, its shadows, its unhealed things. It's trying to, it's trying to push it under the carpet. So he played a role as a reflection that you were able to see. There's no more hiding it. This is where we're moving. Hi, you too. I know it's been a long time. I've been on the inner journey, I've been on the inner journey. Though a non-dual path. You know, the path of one, not two. I've been there. So it's processing. Ooh, it's not easy. That's a tough one to get there. Wow, very difficult. So this is where we are, right? So Julian Assange we still didn't get it, because most people exactly do not want to. They want to hide. You know the thing, hide your dirty laundry. Don't air your laundry. Ooh, we don't put it in public. This is everything. This is humanity. This is all beings hiding. Don't want to look at where we might be wrong. Where am I wrong? Where am I not, where am I judging? The same with cancel culture, you see. I don't want to hear, you must be quiet to make me happy, because I don't want to do the healing. I don't want to get rid of the shadow, because if I've done the shadow, look at Buddhas, look at Dalai Lama. You can say what you want. Look at Jesus. There, people showed you. There are many that have walked this path that have showed you, no matter what happened, anything out there, because they know. The parable of Jesus and the boat is an example of the calm of the storm. Now that parable wasn't as straight as it seemed. The one with Jesus in the boat was exactly. Jesus had reached non-duality. Jesus knew, I am. My Father and I are the one, are the same. He knew, I am source. Source is me. I am source, sort of made manifest, not actually. The body's not, but yeah. You are the reality itself. You're not this body. You are actually the actual whole reality. This is not separate. It's one thing. So he was aware of this, and this is why those in the sea, the boat is just a reflection. With the way the Bible was written is very difficult to decipher if you're not on the path. So it's very difficult to understand, because it was put in metaphors. It was metaphysically. It was written in such a way that it looked like people took it literally, and it wasn't literal. So if you look at the people in the boat, you see, as within, so without. So not frightened, worrying, what the weather. Feeling insecurity, fear, unsettled, no self-trust, all these things. What happened? Jesus was sleeping like a baby, and the weather's all terrible, a storm. Because exactly, as within, so without. Jesus woke up, calmed the storm. Because this is what the parable means. As within, so without. It cannot be. So if you are holding peace and calm and everything else, this frequency, you are not a same match for that. And you understood, I am creating the reality. The reality is only our illusion. It's a holographic illusion. Your conscious is projecting. So this is why Jesus, understanding how the reality worked now, had got to that level. Calm. Told the storm to calm, and the storm was calm. All, as he said, are able to do this. When you get to this level and understand what this is, you, as Jesus said, can do more. You see, the same thing. Everything is a mirror. And the government are the same thing. This is what censorship's about. Fear of your own shadow. It's interesting, actually. I saw that. Them wanting to silence. It's a interesting dynamic. I thought about this because I understand the government's trying to control things so it doesn't get crazy out there. This is their thing. It's the same thing. It's a lower density control. If you understood there's nothing and no one to control you, and you have no actual control anyway, the more you try, the worse it will get, actually. It's the same thing, you see. So source is the only one in control here. Nobody has. So the more you try, it's not going to work. So the government is trying to suppress and silence people. Whatever you want to call it. I can't remember what the word for it is anyway. But they're doing this. Censoring and shutting people up, whatever else. They don't, like what they're saying. If it's negative or whatever, it's going to cause upheaval. Yes, I understand from the point, you see, at that level again, down here, it's control, suppression. But it's the same thing, not understanding. The shadow is needed. Because if all you're doing is telling them to be quiet and suppressing it, they are not going to be able to get a reflection. They need the reflection to understand, because if it's not reflected back to me, there's two things that can happen. You deny the shadow. The more you deny it at the end of times, it's not going to go away. So whatever you focus on, it's going to be emphasized. So the shadow, like you'll see now, it's going to get a lot louder, and so will the light. You see, the light is increasing, and the nastiness or the shadow is going to get a lot worse as well. Because if we are not seeing our reflection and we do not want to accept it, we are denying our shadow, our darkness, our unhealed parts. The light is only going to amp and amp and amp. So there's two things. You are going to leave the planet because your body will not be able to cope with the light, or it's going to come to a bad ending for you, because if you will not see it, it's going to be increased. It's going to be pushing your face more and more until you cannot run away from it. So it'll either kill you, or you will die, or it'll have a negative ending, put it this way. Or you're going to eventually just get to a point where you just completely end up on the floor, hopeless, and you know, as I say, come to a complete surrender, because you just can't anymore. Those are the ways in, but you can do it peacefully. You can decide, right, let me seek. If you understand how it works, but this is when it's so much sadness here. So many people are not understanding how it works. It's not that they don't want to sort themselves out, is they don't understand. And then if you get suppressed or silenced or whatever, the same thing, this control thing from the government, it also has a negative, you see, all of it is everyone's just trying to manage, that's all. They're trying to, understanding what you attract and manifest. There's a misunderstanding in a way there, because you can silence them, but as I say, but if you believe and hold a truth that is negative, that is what will manifest. Doesn't matter if you don't say it, and if you say the opposite and you try the opposite, you can try and do all you want the opposite. But if your real feeling and belief is, I'm in trouble, that's what's going to come. That's what will manifest, you see. So in a way, if they just sat back and let it unfold, it will unfold as it is. Because you will draw whatever you are. Most of you don't want to look. You see, you're denying your thoughts. You're denying your shadow. And those thoughts that are negative or keep harassing you, that's what their job is to show you. That's all they're trying to do, is to show you, you've got this belief. That's why you don't want to listen to it, because it doesn't feel good, because you don't want to. You fear that. It's because it's out of alignment, because it's not the truth, and because it doesn't belong to you. So all the negative thoughts, don't run away from them. Look at them. Aha, thank you very much, because that's its job. Its job is a notification. It's a messenger to show you, this is nonsense. Release this. This is not the truth. When it's not in the truth, it doesn't feel good. The truth, we're talking about the high truth. Yeah, so it is interesting, because this is what the government's reflecting back. You see, the government, by silencing and whatever, censoring people, is reflecting that exactly. It's being reflected back to you. They are playing a role. So people are saying, you see, it's where you are denying or suppressing your shadow and not looking, you're not seeing it on a big scale. It's clear, planetary-wise. So this is what's happening. The government is playing a role and reflecting back to you. We're suppressing you, you see, pushing it under the carpet, silencing you. This is what they're doing. That if you understand this is what reality is, and then you can look at it through a different filter. There's no nan. Oh, there is one, and not the grand, not a grand yet, but the body will be a grand soon. Yes, granny soon. Yeah, micro, as within, so without, as above, so below. And it's sad, because if the government spent less time and energy trying to silence and censor people, okay, there's enough out there about law of attraction and manifestation, especially Bashar, excellent channeling, so people understand then. I can say, I want this, I want it, I'm going to manifest, and you can parrot all you want. But if you don't feel it, if there's a fear or doubt or anything, that means there's something else you haven't released. That is what manifests. You see, so people can't understand, but I'm doing the opposite. I'm saying I'm wanting the opposite. You see, this is what's happening. And when you are in denial, whether it's a country or whatever it is, you know, this is what exactly, and you keep pushing it away and denying it and not understanding what you are. Why is it happening to me? Why are they doing it to me? It's because it is you that believes it and holds that and projects that out there. What you project, actual belief and definitions and feelings and emotions, that is what comes. You see. So I wish they would they'd rather hire people. They've got enough people out there actually anyway doing this. The government's trying. But to teach people about shadow work instead of trying to shut them up, to explain to them how it works. But you also can't force people, you see, to do the work, to go within. This is the thing. There's a lot of trying. There's a lot of encouragement. There's a lot going on out there. But this is also a path. This is also a lesson in something. This is source anyway. All is one. It's all the one. This is what I say. Same thing. You cannot judge and you cannot take sides because everything is one. Everything. There's nothing that is not the one. Everything. Every single thing that exists is all that is source. So everything, everyone, everything on the planet as such, in the Maya, in the dream, it's an illusion, but in the illusional dream, what you perceive as people, as separate things, are it as well. It's playing the dark or playing the good, and that's not an easy role to play, to choose to be the negative reflection right now. They have chosen to do that because somebody needs to. It's how it works. You see, good, bad, hot, cold, happy, sad, all these things. That's it. It's just that's energy. That's all it is. So right now, most of us on this path are focused on anchoring. And this is what I'm trying to say. A lot of people also don't understand. They're praying for peace. But if you're sitting there and feeling frightened and saying, I want peace and praying for peace, what you are doing is exactly the opposite. Because your belief is negative. If you are fearful or anything, it means you don't believe it's going to be good. You don't believe that you are. You see, this is the unhealed. I'm not safe. Things are not good. I don't trust the self, the divine. Trust in source. And when you're there, you know what is. There you feel absolutely everything's perfect. All is well. All is divine. For all is the God source and no other. No matter what, like Jesus on the boat, no matter what happens out there, it will not rock the boat. Because why? I know who I be, what I be. I know all is perfect, all is well, all is divine. And if you understand how the Maya works, you will not fear it anymore because you can navigate your way through the Maya saying, oh, that's a mirror. Oh, shit, I didn't realize I felt that way. And you are actually thankful when someone pushes a button. At the time, you might not get it. You'll be a bit irritated, but why you? And then the next day, you're like, okay, everything's a mirror. Okay, whoops, now you've relaxed. Everything's a mirror. What's it reflecting back to me? Ah, shit. 2 today I had. It was very good, actually. It's so good when you see it. You're like, oh, shit, I'm doing it. Everything is about you. What you are doing to you. What you are feeling about you. What you are judging you. About you. If you know those fundamental basics, love you. If you find those fundamental basics, you will understand it and you will have no fear either. Because you'll understand you are in control, you are creating it. So you will then stop, everything's a mirror. You will then look at everything and, oh wow, that's interesting. And then you can also understand what's going on in the outside world. Because you'll see it's just a big reflection. It's a reflection of that country or that, globally. You see? This is why I find it so fascinating when you observe, if you play the observer, is you understand this and you understand every individual, say, being is going through a different experience or attracting whatever, because it's got every body character, this so-called body, as holding different frequencies and energies according to its whatever character it decided to play and whatever limitations it decided to put on itself before it put on this. It's like a bubble you're in, actually, if you see it. You're in a bubble. And the minute you believe you are, how the one source creates a bubble is by saying, I am. And then what it does, as source, because it's only source, it says, I am. And it projects, that's, you see, I am. It projects this other out there. Now there's two, because there's only one. So to play a character or an illusion to be, you know, whatever, in the Maya, it projects, I am Sam, I am so-and-so. Now it is other to itself. That's how actually it's created, because there is no separation, but in the Maya, you know, and it's thoughts. And the minute you believe you are a human in a body, or any of you, you have now believed I'm a character, otherwise it doesn't work. What happens is this bubble appears around you. And Bashar also channels this. It's very interesting to see it. It's not funny, actually. When you drop into this, you can see all that's held in the field of that body. All their beliefs. Is bloody weird if you want to spy on people. You can see everything they want. I channeled this one. It's fascinating. You can see everything that they want. All their desires and so all of that shit is held within this bubble, their field. This is the illusionary character, the Maya, the whatever you want to say. As the Buddhas and people that are high up will tell you, it's an illusion. There is only one, right? This is how it creates it. I am Joe. Woo-hoo. And then when you start listening to the thoughts, it creates a story. Oh, and this is what the thoughts are there for. The thoughts are to create. You imagine, and the vision. These things are to imagine an illusionary world, because literally there is bugger all out there, actually. There is nothing. They're right, there is nothing. But you perceive other people and a world when you're in the bubble. And when the bubble pops around you, literally, it's like the light's gone. It's like a whole movie show appears. Woof! And next minute, holy shit, there's a whole world. It's very interesting when you get out of it and you can drop into it and you see all of a sudden, the minute, it's immediate, like this whole world which you think exists, it's not. It's just, I can't even explain it. You've got to see it. It just poof. And no one can say they can see the whole world at once anywhere. You can't. You're not seeing the whole world. You think it's out there. It's all thoughts. But tell me, can you see the whole world? Can you see everything? No. It's fascinating. And what behind you or what manifests. So when you manage to lower, you start seeing these things, it's fascinating. So yeah, this is what it is, that everything but this character you think you are, hopefully you don't, you pass that stage where you realize you're not the body, you're not the character. You are playing a character, you are not it. But all of that, when you believed you were, every thought, because when you believe you are, you attach to it. Oh, those are my feelings, my energies, my thoughts. And this is what the problem is. That's how you create your story, and you're stuck with it because you've said it's yours. So there we are. If you made shit now, you've also got to fix the shit, you see. You believed you were this character, but you're not. You're source. You're not even here. You're watching this, though, greatly. You're watching it all. Hey, it's fun when you start seeing all this and you're like, holy shit. But you thought you were this, you see, and you so believed it. And because the belief is so solid, the so-called illusion appears around you. Once you drop the belief that I am this, as they say, the Buddhas, the illusion falls away. And you will see there's no separation. Nothing. Nothing. There's only one. There's no solid, there's no world, there's nothing. Nothing. The world and everything that you are seeing is held, it looks, you would imagine, it's not confusing. When you get up, it's not confusing. When you work your way up, you'll get there. Just intend to raise you see, you'll see it. It's really, really interesting, actually. And that's the whole thing about the journey. Because you go through all these levels. And as you go through the levels, more clarity is given, more understanding is given. And it's so amazing. It's like, oh, wow, oh, amazing, oh, gee, oh, I'm creating this, oh, wow, I'm manifesting this. You know what I mean? You become empowered. You realize you're not some little helpless little person. You are the reality. But anyway, for a long time, it's a habit. You've built up an energetic pattern. So your mind is, you're believing those thoughts are your thoughts. They don't even belong to you and the story of your life. It's your story, but it's not, you see. None of it is. It belongs to the body. And when you identify as this, the Maya continues to be around you. because you are saying, well, I'm that, so there we are. So then this illusionary world, this bubble, which it's funny, you know, when you start off on this journey, they talk about your torus field, whatever you call this thing around you. See, it's a circle, it's a bubble. There we are. No joke. You can feel this energy field around you, this bubble. That's it. That is the entire universe. All the shit that you are seeing, the world out there, it's in that. And there's nothing outside of that. When that energy field, that torus field, that separate field, I'm in a bubble, my field, my energy, that's the problem. You are believing, oh, it's me, I am this. So you've concentrated all your energy into one thing, into one field, the bubble. You see? So you are saying, I am separate. But the real self is not separate. The real self is not this. So that's where that bubble comes from. It's amazing. So that bubble, torus field, is the Maya, is the illusionary world that you are in. That is held within that bubble. Everything is held within that bubble. Every thought, your shopping list to Santa. It's funny, I dropped into someone's as an example. I was channeling this. And I could see everything he wanted. His dream house and his car. It's a shame. You don't want to, you know, kind of say too much because it's embarrassing. It wasn't in a way. It was just trying to show, okay, you know. It's not funny because all of a sudden you drop into that and exactly, poof, the whole world appears around you. And the density, you can feel it. So you, by believing you are this little person, are causing the center point. You see, this is where the I am comes from. That's how the illusion is created. So now you made a little center point and all your energy is, I'm here. But if you actually just drop it and feel, relax and feel. Now ask yourself, is the mountain separate from the self, not me, not this? You see, when you're thinking yourself as this, it's already you're saying I am, the self. You don't even know who you are. So if you sit there and just feel, you know when you want to feel things, like if you're channeling or doing Reiki or whatever, feel. Is the bed separate from the self? And you will feel, we're talking about energy, feeling, sensing. Nothing is separate from you. Nothing. The self is separate from nothing. The illusionary self is a bubble that you are perpetuating, because you are the one, whatever you say is. Anyway, that's a whole other subject. Whole nother subject. Fascinating though. But anyway, when you drop, it's weird when you drop into that thing and out of it. It's like, oh wow. And it's like instantly the world appears around. It's like, oh shit, no. Let's hit reverse. Let's go back. But remember, there's another thing. Don't deny anything, because you chose to play this. You just don't remember. So everything, as I said, everything is it. Nothing that exists that is not it. It is everything. It is the only thing that does exist, actually. So you are it. You are it playing, I'm so-and-so, I'm Jonesy, or I'm whatever. You know, I mean, it's only playing it. It's not. It knows it's not. You have forgotten who you are. You are not this, or the name, or the body. You are source. Pretending to be. That's it, you see. Joe Soap, whatever. But you can end that if you want to. So there we are. If it's made more easier to understand, that's what's out there, how the game works. It's so easy to navigate. See, and then you won't suffer, because you're not going to keep bringing suffering to yourself, because you are trying hard. You are pushing and you're trying and you're manifesting and you're talking and you're parroting and whatever else. But if you don't fix it and release its energy, that's all it is. It's energies. That when you believed you were a thing in a body, my past, my this, my history, you see, everything, it's got you, none of it's you. As people realize, when you die and reincarnate, does that story come with you? No, complete different one. You choose a whole new character, body, everything. Oh, let's go play on another planet even. So you are not the character. It's patterns, it's nonsense, it's story. It's a complete fabricated story. Absolute fabricated. It stays with the body in this Maya when you exit. You carry on, and you're actually watching them all. You're not one. You're all. There is no one. There's no... Yeah, it's all one actually. It appears, as I say, in your little bubble. This is your own little universe, you know. It's like a virtual reality goggles you have on. That's it. And this is what the Buddhas and everyone have been trying to teach and tell people. And that's that energy you perceive around you. That's the bubble. Very interesting when you see it from another. Wow, fascinating, really. So there we are. Don't take everything that's happened to this character and its body as yours, because it's not. Take it personally. See, because you're not even the bloody thing. It's going to stay behind in the Maya. This body doesn't go with you. This life has got nothing to do with you. You carry on and have another story and play all kinds of things. So this is just a story that was playing, that happened to the body. And the body at the time didn't understand that everything was a mirror. So the body, you know, ended up with a lot of difficult situations. You see. If you see it as, thank you. Anyway, but that Bashar does a lot of good. He channels very, very good channels about that. How to, you know, work with all this. I'll leave that to him. I was guided here really about the shadow story. And so now you can understand what the governments are doing out there. So instead of don't throw stones at the mirror, because they are reflecting to you what is going on within, you see. So the government are playing a mirror. And then we get cross with them. They are doing that. No, they're playing a mirror. You know, you are all suppressing and denying your own darkness. You see, fighting among each other, hating, dividing, this, blaming, whatever. This is what it's all projection. It's all a projection. Because you believed you were the body and the character playing whatever, some, you know, holographic character. Well, first of all, find that, clean up any unconscious negative talk. More important, because that'll block anything. So you've got to do all the shadow work first. Once you've blocked all that, that's it. Everything will come to you without any effort. But you need to do your work, you see. Because then you've cleaned everything up. Like Amanda Maymar or Jesus or all these people, right? Look what came to them. People flocked to them, loved them, adored them. Why? Because there was no residue left. They had cleaned the vessel of all its negativity and shadow and darkness. The only thing that was left was light and love. And because they knew what they were. And they radiated that. So they drew everything to them. Love. You see? You don't need to do anything. It comes to you. When you're standing as the light, because that's what you are the divine light. Not a body, not this. Don't just pretend this is an illusionary character. This is not you. It's very difficult to forget that I am not this body or this person. But when you stand as the light, as source itself, everything just comes to you. Because everything is you. You are the chair, the water, the money, the tree, the everything. There is no separation. And feel it. As I said, do that test and you'll see there's no separation. That's an illusion. Me and someone else. And this is why you're still seeing a separate world out there. Because you believe, you know, you are a person in a body. And they say there's only one. There's nothing. That's it. Because the real you, if you sit there and ask, who am I, where am I? And ask, is that separate from me? Feel it. You will feel, just go on any walk anyway, and you will feel that absolutely nothing is separate from the self. But when you're asking, is it separate from you as this thing, that's a different thing. You have made yourself a separate, because you are saying, I'm a separate being. You see, there's just the confusion. How to fix it, whatever, mess it up. Oh, all of these, yeah. If you know who you are, that you completely, you don't create, you are the reality actually. So people say you created, that's a you, there's a separate. You are the reality itself. Fascinating. You are it itself. Because there's nothing separate in it. Everything is one, as they say, it's formless. Everything is one. Nothing is separate. It's one, like a field. That's it. The only thing that's different in the field, while you're hitting these blips, are frequencies, and those are you. I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so. So there's different frequencies in the field, but it's all one field. That's it. Nothing is separate. See, so maybe in the dream and the Maya, that frequency will be a tree, and that frequency will be a whatever. But it's only one field. Nothing is actually separate. It's only when you're in your bubble, in this energy field, as I say, it's energetic, collapses, that you will perceive a real world outside. But there's none. When that little bubble goes poof, when you get out of the bubble, there's not a world out there and people out there. And all of this, you are actually creating it. And then you will see it, and you can actually have, when you understand that, you can actually have control over it. You realize you are creating it. It's amazing. It's like, I'm putting that tree. Wow. So there we are. But it's to understand. You will feel frightened and separate. That's the more the more you separate you feel. If you really believe I'm a body and I'm going to die and I'm a human and my name is so and so and I'm separate, and when you understand I am source, this other does not exist. It's just a name that the body has, and I am not the body. I've misidentified myself as a body and a form. That's the difference. So then I shall be a body and a form. When I take my identity back as the one, I shall be the one. Well, anyway, it's not about that. It's to understand the mirror. So it doesn't help we're all throwing stones at the mirror, because they're only reflecting what it's going to come back and hit you on the head, in a bit. So you understand, you also see from them, like, okay, it's the same thing. It's a consciousness level control. If you don't understand what's happening, you will feel fear, especially if you believe you're a human in a body, because then you think you're mortal and you think the world is real. But when you realize I'm not here, the world isn't real, I am safe, this is completely illusory, it doesn't exist, you won't have any fear, because who's going to die? There's nothing to die. There's not even a body. A real body. It's empty, you see. But it's some practice, because the going back and forth is not easy, because that pattern, you're used to that belief and that thought and that pattern. Yeah, I know, it's an amazing dream. It's an amazing dream. Wow, it's incredible. It's incredible. Very incredible what you can. And then it makes sense. If you're on this path, you'll also understand, how can you channel? How do you manage to talk to other things, see other things, move to time, past, so-called past, present, and future, right? Why? If it was separate things, how would you be able to drop into that thing and be the cloud and be this? I've done that. How can you do that? We never thought about it. Because it isn't exactly, it's because it is not separate. Because it is the one playing all of those things, playing the cloud. You see, playing the wind, playing the tree, playing that is you playing them all. If they were all separate, how could you be a separate so-and-so? There's no such thing as time anyway. Past, present, future. That's also you. That's also a thought. You'll get there. Yeah. Bloody amazing. So, as within, so without. So what you want to see, reflect out there, do that. Okay, reflect out a beautiful world. Reflect out the Garden of Eden. But you've got to feel it. See, this is where the manifestation problems come unhinged. When you're not you, you need to be peace. It means you feel it, hold it, channel it, sit in it, be it. Hold peace yourself. You are the peace. See, That's when you're getting somewhere. When you are holding peace, being love, which means feeling it, thinking it, feeling it, being it. That's it. That's what you're emanating into the field. That is cohesive, and that has a very powerful effect. It overrides all the other, the sphere and other this energies, chaotic energy. It's far more powerful. So it doesn't help though, say praying for peace because that's and where you're frightened because you're doing it from fear, because that's saying I don't believe things are safe, and that's exactly what you are creating. You see, it means to have completely. If you are at a lower level, put your faith in source then. Trust in the angel, whoever, but absolutely trust. Know it, believe it, manifest it, because you need to be it, to feel it, for it to be so. Because whatever you are is what you will be a frequency matched to. So even if there are things going on so-called out there, they will not come to you. They will not affect you because you are not a frequency matched to it. And as I said, the third dimension is being cleaned out and being released. Because a lot of people, as enough people have reached the fourth dimension now. So most are on the 4D. Okay? So the third we're going to split. The third is going to be released, 3D. It's been cleared now. This is why it's so... See, so because everyone's had the same opportunity, and light has come into the so-called planet, into the dream. This is the one dream. Everybody has had equal opportunity and been exposed to the light. Yes, I haven't been on for ages. True. Been busy. I've been been quiet. It's just part of that. It's part of this other thing, the non-dual thing. Because you understand that words and thoughts and concepts are what creates the Maya. The Maya is only made up thoughts and concepts and words. You've named it. That's a table. You are creating this illusionary world. And through words and talking, because it's energy, you're moving the energy, and you say. So if you don't want to stay in the illusionary bubble of the world out there, you really want to not talk and not give, feed into its thoughts and energies and attention to it, because it doesn't. Obviously, how do you perpetuate that momentum of energy? You want to slow it down to be freed from the so-called duality, whatever. Yeah, so this is why it's been quiet. Anyway, but it was guided because there's a lot of sympathy and there's a lot of anger out there. You see, all sides, the government, look at Julian Assange, are desperately trying to hide their dirty laundry. So they're burying Julian Assange, that's their reaction, you see. But same thing, what are you doing? Silencing and suppressing and censoring they're censoring humanity. What is humanity doing? Censoring each other. I don't want you to say that because it'll upset me, because I haven't, it's a trigger, it triggers me because I'm unhealed. So everybody wants to silence everybody else. The people that don't want to see the shadow always are bad guys because they're denying the shadow within themselves. So you've got people that now they don't want so-and-so to talk out because you're in denial of the shadow. If you've cleaned your shadow, you won't have a problem with anybody doing or saying anything, because you'll understand what they're doing, what they're saying, and they'll only be in the same vicinity or attraction to whatever they're putting out. Say law of attraction, manifestation. So if they are negative or low, they're going to attract that and they're going to experience that. It will not affect you if you understand, first of all, you're not any of them, or a person or a human in a body. All is the one. All is love. You cannot judge the self because it's only God here. So what is there to judge? Who is there to silence? You see. But it takes work. So it's funny watching all this because you got the government silencing and censoring him, and people are just go, oh, there. But then you should think, hang on a second. There's a mirror. It's reflecting as society, as humans, what they are doing to themselves. You are suppressing your shadow. You are suppressing your truth. You are suppressing your trauma, your shit. And you are trying to silence him and this division, there's all of it. It's a reflection. It's not seeing. It's a lower, it's 3D, third dimensional. And this is why the whole story of history repeats itself. A lower consciousness literally does. Because it fails to understand there's not enough light, it hasn't let enough light in, because it doesn't want to. If you let go of the shadows, light can come in, so you can see out. You can raise yours above and you'll be able to see it. The more you raise up, the more you're able to see. But if you are denying it and you're rejecting the light, which is evident on the third dimension is being, going to be released now, because there's so much of it. There's enough people in the 4D now, fourth dimension, and those that say they don't want to and that are denying it, the frequency difference is going to become, it'll split. The third dimension will fall away. It's going to split. But it needs enough to hold that. You have to be yourself in peace, in unity, in love, in compassion. And you will hate and enjoy, because you'll understand it's you. It is a reflection of your own beliefs, thoughts, and feelings. Everything out there. Everything. And when you fix it, you will not experience it. You will shift, as he says, to our so-called version of Earth, because it's your bubble you're in. That little universe goes with you. So you fix you. The outside world, which is an illusionary projection, is going to reflect a very different world. You will find, this new Earth is bloody nice. That's when the light actually begins, because that's Christ consciousness. The new Earth, those that they say the light move into is the opening of the crown chakra. So when that crown chakra is open, the light is perceived. That is the new Earth. So that is, as they say, it's the light, because all that gets there will be in light. They would have been in that Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, God consciousness. They know what they are. They're holding the light. The light is fully open. You see? And then there won't be any issues, because you know what you are. And you know you have no control over this body, and this body's not you anyway. So things will just go. And what happens to the body, you're not fazed, because it's not you. See, there we are. And so this is what's happening, and those that don't want to will suffer. As I say, they will just draw more karma, or say karma, but punishment and suffering to themselves. Or end up, they can, because it's coming, as you say, the end of times, at the end of the Kali Yoga. Everything has to be sorted out now. So if you're going to deny or push away, and they are, and I'm this, and I'm innocent, whatever else, whatever you want to take, and still playing sides even, any of that is lower thing. It's just showing. That's what you have to stay with it to work it out. So maybe your mirror, or the world you'll be in, or the version of Earth or parallel, it won't look very nice, because it's only going to reflect what you have not worked. So it's to let go of judgment, hate, because who is there to judge? Who here can judge? There's only the divine here. So the divine, how can you judge? There's only you. There's only one here. When you realize that, you'll understand there's no judgment. You cannot judge, because there is nothing and no one to judge, because all is the one. And that's it. So simple. And you're like, and you can only love the self. And you have love and compassion for those that are not understanding their reflection and the shadow, and they are bringing suffering to themselves. That's all. So you can help by sitting there, and those that are willing to do the work, that don't want to suffer anymore, as I say, just ask but real intent. It takes for 2 weeks. Sit with 2 weeks with real intent. You sit there in your meditation or prayers, and you really just sit, and you just wait if you have to, with your mind focused on source and only, like they call the 0 point, single pointed focus. You do not move your thought off source. And because of your effort to do that, will come to you. But you need to start. If you haven't forgiven or blaming or hating, drop that all, including the self. So the first step is forgiveness. Forgive anything and everything, everyone. But you will, if you've done your work, once you get past, you'll understand that there was nobody doing anything to you. They were just playing a role. They were just playing the reflection. And then you're like, oh, shit. Else. Let me see. How you feel about the you is exactly what you get. So if you don't love yourself, you hate yourself, you judge yourself, you blame yourself, that you're drawing a lot of unpleasant stuff to yourself. But it's a lot of work. And I mean it. I know how hard it is. Because this one's been doing it now since 2000, and I think it started 2019. Wow, and it wasn't easy. It was brought to its knees. And it died. It died and came back. It shows you how much resistance was there. This body it had believed all the stories, and it didn't see the mirror, and it had kept repeating. And had such trauma had accumulated in the body. The body was, wow. So the nervous system was fried. So it took a lot of work. But and not all of it easy at all, but it's sitting every day and meditating every day. There's very few days it doesn't happen, and asking and work. And if it comes up, so maybe it's a bit painful, you might leave it for a day, and the next day you will sit and say, okay, all right, so what is it needs to be cleared, released, thank you, all right. And it becomes so easy because you're so used to this. All right, release it, all right, yep. That's all it is. No, nobody has to leave. It's okay. Doesn't matter, as I say. Doesn't matter what anybody does, because there's no anybody anywhere. Did I? Oh, okay. I don't have done many things. It's not me, this body, as I say. Come through the body, but yeah, the character. The character doesn't do, you'll realize the character does nothing. It has no power. So I say, it's the illusion of power that this thing believes it's all source. It's all the one. That's the one who really does anything. Would you call your higher self or whatever you're at? That is the one that actually has the power. You realize the body actually is on autopilot. It's actually amazing when you see that, and you're like, holy shit, you were doing nothing. The body you disappear, the body will work by itself, as they show you. It's really, really interesting, actually. But anyway, there's a lot of work. But the more of you out there that are on this path, that hold peace, that do not follow any of the news, take sides, any blaming and hating and judgment and If you do, if you're feeling that way, then it's only great. Then realize it is something within you are unaware of, a belief, a feeling, a hurt, a trauma. You need to release it. If anything bothers you, makes you feel frightened or triggers you, that's what I'm saying, shadow that needs to be looked at. And it will not go away, because at the end of times now, everything is amplified. So the more you focus on the negative, as I say, the worse it will get, or the darker it will get. The more you focus on the light, the more light you will feel, the lighter you will get. So focus on divine, or the angels, or God only. Because what you focus on, you become. You see, you put your attention, your energy. So put your energy and attention only into the love or into light. And work on the healing and releasing of anything. Anything that bugs you, upsets you, triggers you, makes you, is a thing. Whoopsie. It's within you. Not outside. Not outside. It's all about you. There we are. And I know it's not easy. Really not. Especially when you start off from scratch and you have a lot of shadow. Then you bump into what they call the lower realms, which represent as all the. So those that haven't faced their own shadow or denying the shadow will not clear the demonic realms. They want to say the demonic realms, right? So the lower realms, which you would perceive, they show up as demonic realms. Those are the bottom 3 realms, chakras. And you will come across all kinds of things. That's the hardest one. That's your real shit you got to overcome. So those are your deepest fears, hates, desires, blah, 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 all the shit. It's actually the shit within you. Once you clear that, you will never, you just don't bump into them, because it's cleared from you. It'll be released completely. You will not even bump into anything like that. But if you have a lot of darkness in you, it's a metaphor. Those things are metaphors because there's no language in source. it comes across as pictures, and if you're not sure what to understand, you take it literally. But it's just a desire. It's lust, it's greed, it's anger. That's what actually they represent. It represents fear, control, anger, lust. That's what those so-called beings in form, which is nothing, represent. So depends on, you've got to work through all your shit. Oh well. And once you've cleared them, and then you clear the next, nothing will bug you. Because you're not in a frequency match. You have no enemy, because there isn't any. So you will have no issue with anything. Doesn't matter what level it's at. You see? Because you've done yours. You've got to empty this. All right. All right, beautiful. If I'm guided to do something, I shall, but I shall let you know. But I haven't been. I've been on Facebook. I've been very active on Facebook. I was guided off this platform because of the energy was very, and secondly, this one, it was strengthening the character. So being on here and the talking on the lives, all they did was strengthen what you want to call the ego, the fake I. That's what it was doing. So I was guided, was like, holy shit, you were trying your hardest to get, work up and get rid of the thing, and you didn't realize by doing what you were doing at that stage, because you had such a, it strengthened the ego, the I. It was strengthening it. Because it was, oh, look at me. This is what it does. The ego, it thinks but it says nothing. It's a hollow shell. There's nothing in there. You know what your actual ego is, or what you are, what you think you are as a person. You know what it is. First of all, as I'll tell you, it's an illusion. But you know what it is. It's made up of only thoughts and programs. That is what it is. And this is why you'll see Amanda Mayamar, Jesus, if someone does enough work and they clear it, why do you think they were saints? Because they emanate only light. They only hold love because they have cleaned the vessel out. This is what it is. The fake you it's actually thoughts. It's an imaginary character, and it's made up of only program. Whatever you've taken in as the imaginary self, feelings and beliefs and taught and habits and cultures and whatever nonsense, that is the character. It's purely a programmed, it is an empty vessel. It's a holographic projection. It only consists of blah, 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 which you are not it. Aren't you happy? So none of the karma is yours either. You willingly took it on. Oh, look, I'm so-and-so. So then that's your karma, isn't it? No, but you're actually not the character. This thing is a blank. It's an empty, it's an imaginary thing. Doesn't exist, actually. It's amazing. So the you is made up with shit. That's what they say, the subconscious program. Everything you've ever taken on to believe and listen to and all that. This is why it's important what you watch and news and listen to. If you're listening to anything fear-based and someone's got power over you, you're still in your lower three chakras. You haven't dealt with that one. Nothing has power over you because you are source. The only thing that is creating your reality is you. The only thing is you. Not they can do anything to you or the outside world can influence you. No. The outside world is only showing what you are creating. That's what the so-called outside world is, acting as a mirror. You have the ultimate power and control. Because there's only one player here. Amazing. Anyway, there we are. I shall end with that. I don't know, because that's also a fictional character. It's just Source. It's Source in fancy dress. Illusionary. It's another one. It's amazing. It's all the divine, playing all kinds of roles. It's not playing. It's imagining itself. But yeah, you have no body. You were never born. You never died. You are watching all of this pantomime with great interest, just observing all of this. That's actually what you are doing. Anyway, lots of love. So work on holding. If you want to see peace in the world, in your world, you need to be it. You need to feel it. So do your own work, whatever you need to do to be peace, to feel peace. All right. That means emptying all the programs and crap that any belief and definition in you that doesn't hold that. Because the you only exists of programs, the so-called you. The human you is just program, actually. As I said, it's a loop. It's a whole lot of thoughts. It consists of pure thoughts and whatever the thing took as real. All right. Lots of love. I got to remember how to get out of here. And if I get called again, I shall come back if I'm guided. All right. Okay. Bye.